Hi, and welcome to the Aspiring Actor's Guide to New York. Working title. Sorry, everyone. Just give me 1 second. Who am I talking to? Who am I apologizing to right now?
It's the Aspiring Actor's Guide to New York.
Yeah. With your host, Kyle Jurassic. You know that already. On this channel, we drink wine, we talk about dogs, and discuss how to pursue a career as an actor in New York City, or anywhere. You know, maybe some of this advice you can glean for your high school theater class or for your college auditions. It's a beautiful sunny day here in New York. We're having a great time. Tomorrow I'm flying to Detroit, which will actually be today. Today I'm flying to Detroit for my buddy's wedding, so I hope it's as nice there as it is here. Today we're drinking Bell's Two-Hearted Ale. We usually drink wine, but I was missing Michigan, and I love this beer, so I'm drinking that instead today. You guys have to know that I love you, because right now I'm missing HQ to record this episode, and I love HQ. So today we're talking about, well, first of all, Lena's right here, and we had a very tiring day at the dog park, so she's been snoring. I just woke her up. Oh no. But you may hear Lena snoring because she had a very tiring day at the dog park today. So there's that. Today we're talking about choosing the perfect monologue. Here are 9 guidelines for you to think about when you're trying to choose a monologue. Give or take a few. I may go off on tangents like I do. Let's get started. Tips and tricks for choosing the right monologue for an audition. Generally speaking, always choose a contemporary monologue. If you're going in for a contemporary show, don't audition with Shakespeare or anything classical. It just doesn't make sense. If you are auditioning for Shakespeare, then yeah, do Shakespeare. But Shakespeare doesn't really have any place in an audition outside of like an audition for your Juilliard program. A good rule of thumb when I'm choosing monologues is I like to choose a monologue from a show that I've already done, even if it's not a character that I've done, because I'm really familiar with that show in and out. If it's not a show that you've already done, make sure you've read the whole play, maybe more than once, so you do actually know the ins and outs of the show and you know the context of the play. I may go off on tangents. 1. Select an entertaining one. If you're not genuinely entertained by this monologue, if you're going through the motions while you are auditioning, that's going to read in the room. And people aren't, if you're not entertained by it, why should we be? Don't try to impress me with your acting monologue. 2, choose a monologue that fits you. If you're a 25-year-old dude, generally speaking, you shouldn't be doing a monologue of a character that's a 60-year-old lady. If you're putting on an accent for this monologue, no, don't do that. It'll work in the context of a whole show, because we're with you from start to finish, but in the context of a 2-minute monologue, where you walk in the room doing one voice, and then you jump into another completely different character, it's kind of jarring to watch. So typically avoid it. There's an exception to every rule, but try to do something that really fits you like a glove. Generally speaking, I like to do a serio-comic monologue. If it's just serious or it's just comedic, it's 2-1 tone. It's just one color, and it's not as impressive. If you can show a broad range of both serious and comedic all in one piece, that's going to be the most entertaining to watch for the people behind the table, and it's also going to show the most depth of character for you. On that note, choose a monologue that has an arc. If you're just painting with one brush, if you're just ranting at the audience for 2 minutes, I mean, yeah, it's fun to watch in the context of the show, but that's because you get to see the arc of that character, and he's not a raving lunatic the whole time. Try to do something that has a start and a finish that is cathartic in some respect. Keep it short. Whoever's behind the table is usually going to make their mind up about you in the first 10 seconds that you're in the room. 2 minutes is really as long as you want to go with a monologue, even if they're requesting 2 minutes. I tend to be on the shorter side than the longer side with a monologue. If that means you have to make cuts, then make cuts where it seems appropriate. Find one with an element of surprise. Yeah. If the audience is able to predict where you're going with the monologue or predict all of the choices you're going to make, it's not as fun to watch. But if there's oh, shoot, I wasn't expecting that, then you got a good monologue on your hands, friends. Avoid foul language or rude sexual innuendos. Those will work in the context of the show, but it's just jarring and it cheapens your acting. The casting director is not going to think that you have the wherewithal or the talent to seem angry without those words. If you have a monologue that leaves the people behind the table thinking of you as a winner, if the character is winning in that monologue, if they end on a happy note, the people in the room are going to end on a happy note, and they're going to associate you with that feeling. So choose a monologue that you end up the winner, if you can. They're going to be comparing you to Matt Damon in Good Will Hunting if you do that monologue. There's no reason to try to trump an incredible movie actor with their monologue. Try to use a lesser known monologue that maybe they haven't seen 100 times on TBS. Write in the comments below if you enjoyed this video or if you hated it. Either way, I appreciate the feedback. Feel free to check this video out if you are interested in some more of this, some more advice about being an aspiring actor in New York. If you like this channel, subscribe. I'll be releasing new episodes every Theater Thursday at 3. So I think this is going to be the last video for the Ace the Audition series. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions about auditions in general, write in the comments and I will be happy to answer them. I may dedicate a full video to your question if I think it warrants it, or I may do it in a Q&A video. No matter what, I will address it. So please feel free to comment. Tune in next week when we discuss the should I, shouldn't I join equity. We'll talk about how to join equity, whether or not you should join equity. We'll talk about what equity is, if you don't know. Thanks for coming out. Chase your dreams. Cheers.